What's up, guys? So, my dad called me last night. He's like, I need you to do two things for me. One is to go get his drum set from his buddy's Richard house. I don't know, I messed that up, but oh well. In Bloomington. And that won't be until June. And then he's like, number two, you need to go to church. I haven't been to church in a while, and I straight up gave him the talk of, I don't want to go. I just don't like it. And then he's like, well, why don't you like it? And then he tried to force me to say, not really force me, but he tried to tell, pretty much his way of doing things is completely weird and stupid, and I wanted to just say, because, I did tell him. I said, I don't believe in it. I don't believe in the way that you guys are preaching it is okay or whatever. And then he started giving me the runaround of, well, pretty much what he's saying is that the church that he goes to, which he's been going to throughout his whole life, is the only church that I should go to, that Mom should go to, that my sister should go to, and he stopped talking to my brother altogether. So I was doing fine not going to church. Everything was going fine, and then he starts calling me and texting me saying that I need to go to church. The only reason why I don't like going to that church is because everybody there is family, and I already know everybody there, and I know that if I don't go, then they're going to snitch on me and be like, well, he's not here today. I haven't seen him today. No, I haven't. And stuff like that. And it's I don't like it. It just feels like he's controlling me. And we had this conversation last night of saying, well, you need to go to church. It's good for you and stuff like that. And I'm just like, well, no, I don't want to go to church. I want to go to a church that I like. And he's like, well, what's a church that you like? Is it with instruments and stuff like that? Because in the Bible it says, no instruments and you should rejoice with your voice. And I'm like, Dad, that was like, what? The first section of it? I can't remember, but I think that's the Old Testament or New Testament. I can't remember, but I was raised against two churches. I was raised against one with the First Church of God and the First Church of Christ. First Church of Christ was in where my dad has lived. And that place has no instruments whatsoever. It is one building with just the sanctuary, I think it's what it's called or whatever, and a few classrooms, and then a basement, and then that's it. And all they do is sing and preach, and I'm sorry, but that, I don't like it. It literally puts me to sleep. That's what I'm saying. And then the other one, though, First Church of God, has a piano, a drum set, and maybe an acoustic guitar every now and then. But they mainly just use a piano. And the only time that they use the drum set and piano is if the younger kids are there. That way it'll get their attention and start learning and stuff like that. And then once they get older, they'll start attending to the grown-ups session of the preaching. And I don't know, but all I know is that's, to me, is a lot better than just sitting and being around people that you've known throughout your whole life and stuff. And it's really boring to me. It really is. Like my dad's side, my dad does not like my mom's side of the family because they can see through the front that he puts, as in like the fake face and stuff like that and everything else. They can see right through it, and he doesn't like that. And plus the fact that my dad likes to be in control. And yes, if you guys are going to say someone has daddy issues, yes, I do have daddy issues. Well, technically it's stepdad issues, but still, whatever. All I know is that I'm tired of him calling and texting me saying, you need to go to church, you need to go to church, and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I've had it. If he tells me one more time that I need to go to church, I'm straight up just going to be like, you know what? I'm not going to go to church. And if he kicks me out of this place, oh well, you kick me out of this place. That just means that I'm going to have to move my car somewhere and take the tools that I have with me and take my 360 and my fan and probably the rest of my clothes and move somewhere, because I really am tired of him saying that I need to go to church. It's horrible, because he keeps saying that that church is the best and in his view, and that his church is the righteous church, and that his church is the one that won't lead you down the path of destruction or whatever, and that I won't go to hell if I go to that church. And I'm just like, I'm already going to hell. I already know it. So I don't get why he can't see that. Why he can't see that I just don't like it. I never got church. I never did. And I've told him this several times, and he just doesn't want to believe it. And he's still pushing that concept at me constantly, and I'm just tired of it. And my mom knows I'm tired of it. I tell her every time he tells me. I'm just annoyed by it, because the more you push something on me, the more I'm just gonna push it away. It's that simple. So the more he pushes going to church on me, the more I'm just gonna reject it and just gonna be like, no, I'm not going. I'm really, really tired of it. I even told him about how it's a belief and stuff like that, and that sometimes I just don't. I do believe in God, but it's the simple fact that he is so into it that to me it's kind of scaring me. It really is. And I don't, no. I don't know. I honestly don't know anymore. All I know is that I just want to get a job, support myself, and just live on with my life without somebody probing something at me or telling me what I can and can't do, or what's best for me and stuff like that. It'd be nice to have a little bit of guidance or advice, but nothing to where you're sitting there constantly telling the person you need to go to, you need to do this, you need to do that, and trying to force that onto that person. He's been doing that my whole life, pretty much. In high school, I had very few friends that I was able to even hang out with. Like, it was ridiculous because of him. And literally, like, okay, I had a girlfriend. I was supposed to go out on a date with her. I had to clean the bathroom until it was completely spotless of any dust or anything. I cleaned that thing so good that you could probably eat off the floor and off the toilet. And I cleaned everywhere, every nook and cranny. I even had Q-tips and stuff like that cleaning every place. And he came in there saying that it's still not clean enough. And I ended up being 30 minutes late after my mom started griping at him when it was time for me to go, because I was going to be late for my date, and he didn't care. He didn't want me to go. He didn't want me to leave. He just wanted me to stay at the house and be a good boy and just be obedient. I'm sorry, but when you're as strict as he is and just wants to be in control, you're just going to push your own family away, and at some point they're going to break. And that's what I'm about to do. I'm literally about to break with this man, trying to force something onto me that I don't want to do. It's like, it's not like rape in a way, because that's really, really bad. And I don't want to even think about it. It's just wrong. It really is. I really have nothing else to say. I just thought I'd vent on here and see what you guys think, because I really am tired of this bullshit. I really am. As soon as I mentioned my car, he goes, conversation's over. Alright, and I'm like, alright, and then we started talking about something else, and then he brought up the church again, and I'm just like, and then I brought up talking about my car again. He goes, okay, conversation really is over, and I'm like, alright, see you later, and then I just hung up the phone, and then he hasn't called me back. So pretty much anytime it's about me, or anytime it's about my car, he doesn't want to hear about it. He just wants to talk about what he has planned for me and stuff like that. Like, he got me a job at Golden Corral as a dishwasher. They didn't even have rubber or waterproof aprons or anything like that. They had the cloth aprons. By the time that you got done with working there, it was bad. My clothes were completely soaked, straight down to my underwear. I was working short shifts, but still, that's not the point. I was still drenched by the time I got home, and I smelt of garbage, and it was bad. I left there, and I'm not doing it again. No. Literally, they would have me work 4 to 5 hours, making $7.25 an hour, and most times I wouldn't even work that much. I'd only work 4 hours a day, and then sometimes maybe 5 or 6. It wasn't. It was enough to pay the bills, but it wasn't worth it at all. And then I got a job over at a barbecue place. I'm not gonna say the name. And he fired me because I didn't go to his church and that I was watching and liked anime. And I gave him 2 months in advance about a Comic-Con that I wanted to go to. He sounded really interested in it, but then he fired me 2 days later, and he owns the company and the thing, and it was bad. So pretty much everywhere here is like either church or really crappy job, and it sucks. It really does suck. So that's why I'm hopefully going to work for a towing company. That way they can have me running around the clock, non-stop, making money, and working on Sundays as well. That way I don't have to hear from my father saying, you need to go to church. And I'll be like, well, I have a job now, so I really don't have to worry about, going to church and stuff. I guess I'm just going to miss it. I don't know. It's aggravating to me. Ever since, I don't know why, but I don't know when this happened, but he's been, for like a year now, he's been constantly pushing that on to me about church. But whenever I was living up in Indy, he didn't say a word about it. But as soon as I moved back down here, it's an instant, where, go to church. You need to go to church. You need church. You need that in your life and stuff like that. My grandma has done that to me, but she has accepted that I didn't like to go to church. But now that he's doing it, he just doesn't want to accept it. So now, whenever, I still can't believe that he said that he can force somebody to go to church. That is ridiculous. And what's funny is that he said it over a phone call instead of a text, because he knows that over a phone call you can't really call that back or whatever, or view the conversation you had unless you go to your Verizon customer, which I'm on his line and he's paying for, so I really can't go in there and be like, well, I need this on this date and what they said. But he was pretty smart about that. He's smart about that, actually. I don't know. He's driving me up the wall here, and I'm literally about to just break. And I told my mom, actually, that when I get enough money and stuff like that, I want to move to Japan. I want to learn the culture, speak the language and stuff like that. And I just really like it over there. I've seen videos and stuff like that, and I really like it over there. I really do. I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about. I'll probably get off here. That'd be my shower. Great. Well, I'm gonna get off here. It's almost 10 o'clock. But I guess I'll just go this one time just to shut his mouth up. Oh well. See y'all later.